But this was built very, very lightly. In the oral history we found, it was built the year before World War I started. And then the guy who was the foreman of the yard ended up with the boat. He was the first listed owner. And there's a lot of details in the boat that are very much a yacht detail, not a workboat detail. You wouldn't see it anywhere else. It's little trim pieces in the cabin and the style of framing and everything. It really wouldn't tell you that it's a workboat at all. So we think that whoever had it commissioned originally, it was almost done, or it was nearly, halfway done, and then they went off to war and something happened, and then the foreman ended up buying the boat cheap from the yard for basically the cost of materials, which is common still to this day in any yard, and then he decided to make it a tugboat because it had the shape. And so I think it probably was, sort of a very Victorian cocktail cruiser kind of thing, maybe for a client from Philadelphia or something like that. But then at that point, she started to take on more workboat style. It got beefier. When they reframed it, they kept stepping up the sizes. And as we've dug in along the keel here, you can see where the old frame pockets were, and then they sort of deep six those and started putting in bigger frames next to it, and slowly sort of turning her into what she is now. In the 50s, when Bailey owned it, Bailey Construction, they actually changed the shape of the front of the boat. Instead of being a much more delicate entry into the water, they just made it fuller to carry the big engine and the big prop and all the big tools they needed. So there's quite a sort of varied history to the boat. The yard it was built in built 200, 300-foot schooners. So this was a tiny boat for them, which is why they got to put a little extra detail into it all. It really sort of gives us a chance to dig into it and see which of those details are original and which aren't, and go from there.